Hi everyone and welcome to another live lesson where we cook and we learn English at the same time. أهلا وسهلا بالجميع. اليوم بقدم لكم درس جديد اللي من خلاله رح نتعلم اللغة الإنجليزية نحن وعم نجهز طبق إيطالي. Today's dish is risotto, mushroom risotto, and we'd better crack on because risotto takes a long time to prepare. طبق اليوم mushroom risotto ورح نبدأ crack on, write down crack on, which means to proceed quickly with something, to get on with something without delay. Okay, crack on يعني نبدأ شيء أو نستمر مع شيء بطريقة سريعة بدون تأخر. Okay, so I'm just going to boil about 2 liters of water, 2 liters, لترين ماء, and what we'll need to make mushroom risotto. Sorry, I forgot to say I'm live with you, by the way, so you'll find me on the chat, chatting to you. Okay, what we'll need for our mushroom risotto is rice, okay, and you need to get the rice that is suitable for making risotto, which is like short, thick grains. Okay, I'll show you here. No, you can't see it. Okay, so like really short, it's very hard to see. Hold on, hold this thing up, the whole jar. Short, thick grains, حبة قصيرة وسميكة تخينة, maybe similar to Egyptian rice, يمكن بيشبه الرز المصري. Okay, so rice, you need some rice. You need mushrooms. Okay, now usually you would get porcini mushrooms, but they can be hard to get by. Write down hard to get by. عادة نستعمل مشروم البورcini بس طبعا يعني منه موجود بكل مكان ومش على مدار السنة, فكبديل رح نستعمل champignons. Okay, we're going to use champignons الفطر الأبيض. So you need some mushrooms. This is not the entire quantity we're going to use. There was more, but I've pre-cooked my mushrooms. I've pre-sauteed them. هيدي منا كل الكمية كانت أكبر من هيك بكتير, ولكن أنا جهزت المشروم سابقا عشان بس يعني نوفر شوي وقت. You also need some shallots. Okay, save some time. So rice, mushroom, shallots. It's just that I'd already used the butter for my shallots and for my mushrooms, and I'm running out. Can you write down running out? To run out of something is when you're finishing something, like you know you don't have much of it left. رح تخلص من عند الزبدة. So butter, more than this quantity, and we need some Parmesan cheese, بدنا البارميجانو, some broth cubes. Okay, بدنا مكعبات مرقة. I'm going to use 4 because I have 2 liters of water. So for every half liter, I'll use 1 cube. Okay, this is not a cube anymore. They used to make them in cubes. كانوا من زمان يعملوهم كمكعبات, هلا الأمور تغيرت شوي. And last but not least, write this down. Last but not least, we need some parsley, بقدونس. Parsley, not too much, just like a few stalks. كم عليه. Okay, my water is boiling, and what I'm going to do now is, hold on, I'll just put that over here. I'm going to throw in the broth cubes, whatever they're called. Okay, so I'm going to take, where's my, no, this may be too big. I'm going to get a spoon, grab a tablespoon, remember, tablespoon. And as for the broth, okay, so when you're talking about something, you can, like, if you want to refer back to something, you can say as for the rice, as for the broth. Okay, as for the broth, you can use whatever flavor you prefer. So if you're vegetarian, like Yakin 10, who joins us from Algeria, I think, hi. If you're vegetarian, then you can use like vegetable broth. I like to use like beef broth. Okay, so this is beef. But I'm also mixing it with some mushroom flavor. Like, you don't have to, you can use, like I said, whatever, vegetable, beef, mushroom, whichever you can find. Okay, so I've just put all of these in. Let's get rid of the plastic and put it over there. Now I'm going to increase the heat again. And what am I going to do? Then I'm going to take, that's the hook, a ladle. Okay, this is a ladle, and I'm just going to stir it just to dissolve it. Okay, أخذت المغرفة وحركتهم عشان دوب المرقة أو دوب يعني المكعبات اللي هلا حطيتهم. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put the lid back on. Okay, now to our risotto. Important to say, with risotto, we need to use butter, not oil, because oil is too heavy. مع risotto بدنا نستعمل الزبدة مش الزيت لأن الزيت كتير تقيل. And I'm just going to use a little bit because I had already used butter in my shallots and in my mushrooms, and I need to keep back. So write down keep back. I need to keep back some butter for later, like right at the end. I need to mix in some butter and Parmesan cheese into my risottos. Okay, so I'll kind of hold this back. فرح خلي عندي شوي زبدة لأنه بآخر الطبخة بدي أضيف الزبدة أو الجبنة إلى الريزوتو. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to turn down the heat. خففت هون النار تحت المرقة, and I'm going to put in my shallots to warm them up. Okay, راح احط هلا البصل اللي كنت قليته سابقا راح ضيفه ارجع الى الطنجرة عشان يسخن. Okay, and while that's warming up, I'm going to, hold on, actually take this back out. I'm going to measure, راح قيس how much rice I'm going to use. So with the risotto rice, you don't wash it. Okay, we don't wash the rice. I find the idea difficult at first because I'm used to washing rice, but you know, you don't wash it. So I'm going to measure how much. Now remember, of course, rice expands. Okay, طبعا الرز بينفخ. So I'm going to use this as one portion, okay, because it's going to be a lot more. So this is one portion. I'm going to put this in. So with the onions, okay, put this in, and I'm going to use 4 portions today. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so that's my rice in the saucepan, and now I'm gonna stir it. Now, really important, 2 tips. When you cut your shallots, لما بتقطعوا البصل، هذا منه بصل، شو اسمه باللغة العربية ما بعرف اسمه، البصل الصغير لنسميه هيك، اكتبوا لي بالتعليق اسمه. وقت بتقطعوا الshallots, the pieces have to be really small, so they can't be bigger than your rice grains. Okay, لازم قطع البصل تكون أصغر okay من حجم الرز. That's so they cook and also for the taste. عشان طبعا يعني نطبخهم أو يستووا وعشان طعم الرز. The other thing, the onions, okay, should never, or the shallots, you can use onion if you like. ممكن تستعملوا طبعا البصل. It should never change color, so it shouldn't be like caramelized or brown or burn. طبعا البصل ما بدنا يعني بدنا نستويه ولكن بدون ما يتغير لونه، بدون ما يصير لونه بني أو أسود. Okay, so that's the shallot, and then I put in my rice and I turn my rice. So my rice I want to toast it but not burn it, okay, and it shouldn't turn brown either. فبدنا نحمص الرز شوي ولكن بدون كمان الرز ما يتغير لونه أو يصير لونه أسمر أو بني. So I'm just going to turn it a few times, and then usually after you've toasted your rice, what you have to do, or what you would do usually, is you would throw in like a glass of white wine. عادة من بعد ما نحمص الرز بنحط في فوقه كباية نبيت أبيض, but we're not gonna do this, okay? ولكن نحن مش رح نقوم بهالشي. And it doesn't really, it makes some difference but not really a lot. يمكن بيعمل فرق بسيط للطعمة ولكن مش كتير, فمنه يعني شي ما فينا نستغني عنه. Okay, so I'm just toasting my rice. I'm going to turn it one more time, and now I'm going to start scooping some broth and putting my broth over the rice. However, I'll do this scoop by scoop. So I'll put in one scoop and I'll kind of stir my rice. The broth will evaporate and cook the rice in the process, and then I'll add another scoop. So only once the first scoop has evaporated will I add another scoop. فهلا اللي رح نعمله رح نضيف شوي شوي المرقة, ولكن اللي بنعمله بنغرف أول شيء مغرفة ومنخليها تتبخر, وبنفس الوقت طبعا لما هي والمرقة عم تتبخر الرز يعني بيتم طهيه, اوكي, بيستوي شوي شوي, وبس تتبخر المي بنزيد مي تاني فوقها, فما بنضيف يعني ما بنعبي الطنجرة مرقة, لازم شوي شوي نقوم بهالشي, عشان هيك طبخ الريزوتو بياخد وقت. So where's my ladle? Here's my ladle, and I'm going now to scoop the first bit of broth. And really important, your broth has to be hot. لازم طبعا هون المرقة تكون سخنة, لأنه ما فيني حط مثلا إذا حطيت هون سائل بارد أو فاتر فوق الرز, ساعتها يعني الطبخ رح يبقى بطيء, اوكي, لأنه كل مرة بده السائل يرجع يسخن ويغلي قبل ما يتبخر, فنحن بنضيفه إلى الرز بيكون عم يغلي, اوكي. So I'm going to keep the heat on. رح خلي النار والعة تحت الطنجرة, وهلا رح ضيف أول مغرفة, اوكي. You hear this? الطشة. And I'm going to stir this, okay. And just to show you, so I'll show you what this looks like. I'll add one more just because you need enough to cover the rice. هلا رح أضيف كمان مغرفة تانية لأن بدي يعني إنه كل الرز يكون مغطى, وهلا بهالطريقة هيدي هون ما كان كله يعني مغطيته المرقة, فهلا رح فرجيكم, رح أعملكم صورة لأن صعب تشوفوا داخل الطنجرة كيف شكله. ثانية بس, اوكي. هيدا شكله, ما بعرف إذا مبين لكم, اوكي, هيدا هو شكله. وهلا اللي رح أعمله رح احركه ولكن شوي شوي عشان ما يخبص, okay. So I'm going to stir it but really slowly so it doesn't stick together, okay. Like as it starts cooking it will start sticking together, so I don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to put this, going to put another one back in, or another scoop in, sorry, like that. I put two and stir it. Okay, now this is going to take at least, I don't know, like about 20 minutes, okay, to do that. And as you can see, the flame is really, can you see that? The flame is really low, like this is the lowest flame I have. And I don't put on a lid on the saucepan, ما بحط غطا, والغاز كتير يعني مخففيته, اوكي, فمنه عالي, منه حرارة عالية. Okay, so like that. And now we're going to talk about, like I said, 20 expressions that will kind of allow you to speak like a native speaker. فلنحكي هلا عن 20 عبارة تستعملوهن عشان تحكوا مثل الناطقين الاصليين. قلنا منهم اثنين, قلنا running out of, انه الشيء رح يخلص من عنا, I'm running out of time, اوكي, ما عندي وقت, انتهى الوقت. I'm running out of butter. الزبدة عم تخلص. I'm running out of ideas. اوكي يعني خلصت مني الافكار، كان عندي افكار استهلكتهم كلهم، ما عادش عندي افكار. So that's to run out of something. Another expression we use is crack on. To crack on means to do something, like to proceed quickly doing something without any delay. حكينا عن crack on. بنستعملها يعني خاصة لما بدنا مثلا نقوم بشيء بسرعة أو مستعجلين على شيء وما بدنا أي شيء يعطلنا. Oh, I'd better crack on with my work. أفضل لي إنه استمر مع عملي. Perhaps you've also heard crack up. Crack up كمان فعل تاني، فعل phrasal verb تاني مع كلمة crack on, crack up. Crack up is when something makes you laugh really hard, okay? Crack up نستعملها لما في شيء بيضحكنا كتير. مثلا oh, your jokes crack me up, okay? النكت اللي بتحكي لي اياهم بيضحكوني كتير. Crack up. So that's the third expression, to crack up. Then now we're going to like have a conversation between two people who've just like seen each other. You know, they know each other, they're friends maybe, they're good friends, and we'll just pretend they're having a conversation just so, you know, so we can learn some of the expressions people use, some of the phrases people use in everyday conversations. فهلا رح نعمل محادثة بين شخصين، بين صديقين صديقتين بيعرفوا بعض، تلاقوا ببعض ويعني عم يحكوا عن الحياة، عن اشياء عادية. فهلا رح نقوم بهالمحادثة هيدي. Okay, so when you meet someone, what could you say? Like, hi, how are you? Not really when you're friends, maybe, you know, but a better way, of course, is to say, hey, what's up? Yeah? What's up? Do you know another way? Like, in addition to what's up, to say, so I'll just make another picture. What's up? Or you could say, how's it going? How's it going? So, what's up? Or how's it going is a good alternative to use with your friends instead of saying, hi, how are you? Okay, you could say that, but you know, it's always nice to have some other kind of like ways to greet someone. فممكن نقول طبعا what's up، ممكن نقول how's it going? How is it going? How's it going? Okay, this is what the rice looks like now. Okay, how's it going? So, and the answer, oh sorry, before we get to the answer, you could also say another way, which we hear a lot, people use that a lot. What you up to? Hi, what you up to? What are you up to? شو عم تعمل؟ شو عم تساوي؟ Hey or hi, what you up to? What are you? We shorten it. What you up to? Hey, what you up to? I hope you're writing these down in the chat. What you up to? The answer could be what? So if I say to you, hey, what you up to? How would you answer? Could you write this in the chat? What you up to? So you could say, not much. Not much. شو عم تعمل؟ يعني ولا شيء. Not much مثل إنه كأنه يعني nothing special. Not much. ما في شيء جديد. Not much طبعا بتعني مش كتير، ولكن يعني لما بنرد على شخص بيقولنا what you up to بنقول له not much، معناتها إنه يعني ما عم نعمل أي شيء special هيك. Not much. أو ممكن نرد ونقول I've just come back from. اوكي، دوبني راجعة أو دوبني راجعة من، وبعدين بنحدد المكان. مثلا شو اللي كنت كاتبه هون؟ اوكي. I've just come back from a job interview. دوبني راجعة من مقابلة عمل مثلا. أو ممكن أقول I'm just going to، إنه هلا رايحة إلى، وبقول بعدين وين رايحة. يعني ممكن في عدة طرق ممكن نرد. ممكن نرد على سؤال what you up to، كأنه هالشخص عم يسألنا شو اللي عمله أو كيف الحال، يعني حسب طبعا الموقف. وممكن نحن نرد يعني إجابة قصيرة نقول ولا شيء، أو ممكن نرد ونقول رايحة إلى مكان أو دوبني راجعة من مكان. لنقول شخص راجع من job interview، من مقابلة عمل، ممكن الشخص الثاني يقول له job interview، oh wow, how did it go? How did it go? كيف صارت الأمور؟ How did it go? How did it go? How did it go? وممكن ساعتها نرد ونقول it went really well. okay? الأمور صارت بخير. okay? It went really well. أو ممكن يكون العكس، ممكن ما مشي الحال كتير، ما كانت مقابلة عمل كتير منيحة، ممكن نقول it didn't go too well. It didn't go too well. هلا to مثل ما بتعرفوا تعني كمان. اوكي، بنستعملها عشان نقول كمان او عشان نقول شيء زائد عن حده، مثلا it's too much، هالشيء كتير. ولكن ممكن نستعمل to عشان نقول انه مش زيادة. It didn't go too well. It didn't go very well. اوكي، نستعمل to بهالطريقة هيدي. وممكن كمان نقول، كمان هيدي عبارة idiom كتير مفيدة. ممكن نقول we got off on a wrong foot. We got off on a wrong foot معناتها لما بدأت المقابلة بدأنا بطريقة مش كتير منيحة، يعني مثل كأنه ممكن يعني حصل سوء تفاهم، أو يمكن كنت شوي متلبك، أو هن كانوا ما بعرف يعني متلبكين، أو يعني ما خلوني حس حالي مرتاحة بهالمقابلة هيدي. ف to get off on a wrong foot. اوكي، فالبداية ما كانت زيادة. ولكن ممكن ساعتها نقول however things improved or got better، الأشياء تحسنت. things improved as the interview went on، معناتها انه يعني لما استمرينا مع المقابلة الأشياء تحسنت. things went on. things improved as the interview went on. So that's like another, I don't know if you write again, like just write these down. I keep forgetting to tell you to write these down. Now one thing I wanted to clarify here is the verb to go on. So go on means continue, right? فعل go on اللي هو phrasal verb بيعني انه يستمر. People use it often, so like I get this a lot as a comment, in the wrong way, where people tell you go on to encourage you to continue, like to continue making videos or to continue with the lessons. Go on. هلا فعل go on بيعني يستمر، وناس كتير بتستعمله مثلا يعني عشان يشجعوا شخص انه يقوم بشيء او يستمر مع شيء، نشاط مثلا معين. But go on, when you say to someone go on, it's like you're inviting them to do something, like to continue speaking for example. ولكن لما بنستعمل go on وبنقول لشخص go on بنكون كأننا عم نقول له انه يستمر مثلا بالحكي، انه يكمل كلامه. مثلا كون انا قطعته وبقول له go on معناتها كمل كلامك. or I'm inviting him to do something، او عم اقول له انه يقوم بشيء. مثلا اذا شخص قال لي بدك فنجان شاي بقول له oh go on then. So if someone asks me would you like a cup of tea, it's a like really kind of common phrase to say to them, oh yeah, go on then, or well, go on then, like you inviting them to do it. Go on then. If you want to encourage someone to do something, it's much better to say, can you think of something? If you can think of something, just write it as a comment before I say it. طريقة تانية، يعني طريقة أفضل لنشجع شخص، لنقول له مثلا استمر بعملك، ما توقف العمل الجيد اللي عم تقوم فيه. كيف ممكن نقول لهم هالشي هيدا؟ We can say keep going, okay? Keep going. So you could comment underneath my videos, you could say keep going. رح أعمل لكم صورة تانية. I'm just going to make another picture. So this is what your rice looks like now. You see that? Okay. So keep going. Another way, a great phrase to learn is to say, can you think of something else? Keep it up. Keep it up. Which basically means keep up the good work. Keep it up, don't stop it. Continue with it. Keep it up. So this is another phrase we could use. Keep it up. And something similar, but kind of maybe like using a more negative verb is don't give up. Give up, of course, is a negative verb, but you could say don't give up. ممكن نقول لشخص إنه ما توقف. Don't give up. أنا دايما بفضل استعمل أفعال إيجابية مثل مثلا keep it up, keep going عن إني أقول don't give up مثل كأنه الواحد يعني ممكن يكون عنده شك إنه الشخص راح يوقف أو راح يتوقف عن الأشياء اللي عم يقوم فيها. So keep it up, keep going, don't give up, and you can also say keep up the great work. Keep up the great work. Keep up the great work. So you're telling someone that they're doing great work and you're telling them to continue doing it. Okay, so that's kind of like to encourage people to do something. So like I said, this is more correct than saying go on. Okay, now before we continue with these sentences, I just want to say the rice is kind of like getting ready, and what I would have done, okay, just before making the rice, I would have sauteed the mushrooms, okay. قبل ما أطبخ الرز كنت بمقلاية راح أقلي المشروم, okay, just some butter, and if you can see it here, a garlic, okay, one garlic, and now I'm going to take out the garlic. So I didn't chop the garlic. I sliced my mushroom. قطعت المشروم إلى قطع منا كتير صغيرة, okay, ولكن ما فرمته وما فرمت الثوم. So now took out the garlic, and now I'm going to add my mushrooms to the risotto. And just to say, the mushrooms should be warm because otherwise, like, you know, you will slow down the cooking. المشرومز يعني يكونوا سخنين أو على الأقل يعني ما يكونوا مسقعين قبل ما نحطهم قبل ما نضيفهم إلى الرز. Okay, بس عشان ما نبطئ الطهي. Okay, so I've just put them in. That's that, and my risotto is almost ready. And I'm going to add more broth, and I'm going to show you now what it looks like. Okay, it's looking very good. Okay, and as we stir, we just do this slowly. We don't want it to like stick together. برجع بس بنبهكم انه لما بنخلط الرز ما نخلطه كتير ومش يعني بحركة سريعة عشان ما بدنا اياه يلزق. Okay, so I've done that, and let's see what else we have on the list. Okay, so let's go back to the conversation between the two friends. لنرجع للمحادثة اللي كانت بين الصديقين اللي كانوا عم يحكوا عن مقابلة العمل. Okay, so hold on, I'll just make one more picture, take one more picture, and then we'll continue. So this is what it looks like now. You see that? Hold on, I'll hold up the saucepan as well. Okay, you can see that, right? Yeah. So that's our risotto, nearly ready. And just give it one more stir. Okay, so let's go back to that conversation. You know, you remember the last thing the friend had said was like, oh, things got off, like on a wrong foot. You know, things started in a bad way or like got off to a wrong start. So then that person could say, I'm not, you know, it's hard to tell. Like, how did it go? Oh, it's hard to tell. كمان جملة مفيدة, it's hard to tell. لما ما بنكون متأكدين كيف يعني بدنا نقيم شيء. يعني هل مثلا صارت الامور على خير، اتس هارد تو تيل، ماني عارفه، لان بدانا بطريقه سيئه ولكن بعدين الامور تحسنت، فما بقدر انه من هلا يعني اقول هل رح يعطوني العمل ولا لا. اتس هارد تو تيل. كثير مثلا كمان بنستعملها، ما بعرف، لما حدا يقول how old is he، قديش عمره، it's hard to tell, you know, like he looks young but he could be, I don't know, he could be 80 مثلا. اوكي قديش عمره، ما بعرف، يعني ماني متاكده، صعب انه اعرف، ممكن يكون صغير او ممكن يكون عمره 80 سنه. اوكي so it's hard to tell. So then the other person could say I hope you'll hear back with some good news soon. I hope you'll hear back with some good news soon, or I hope you'll get some good news soon. فالشخص الثاني ممكن يقول بتمنى انه يعني رح تستلم اخبار منيحه عن قريب، او رح تسمع مع اخبار جيده عن قريب. You'll hear back with good news, or you'll get some good news. Now I said I hope. قلت I hope بتمنى. Very often you'll hear people say hopefully. Hopefully you'll get some good news soon. في ناس كتير بلا ما تقول I hope بتمنى بتقول hopefully. But that's wrong. Okay, ولكن هيدا خطأ, because hopefully is not verb. Okay, it modifies verbs. هيدا خطأ لأن hopefully هي صفة بتعدل الفعل. اوكي فما بقدر اقول hopefully you'll hear with good news soon. We use hopefully in this way. So for example, will you call me, she asked hopefully. هذا مثلا ممكن مقطع نقراه بكتاب. اوكي قصة حب، رح تتصل فيي، سألته على امل. اوكي she asked hopefully. hopefully modifies the verb. هون كلمة hopefully عدلت الفعل، سألته على أمل. Will you call me? She asked hopefully. رح تتصل فيي، سألته، يعني هي بتتمنى إنه يتصل فيها، فسألته بطريقة أوكي بتدل على إنه هي بتتمنى هالشيء هيدا. So if you want to wish someone something you say I hope. فإذا بدنا نتمنى شيء لشخص ما بنقول hopefully، بنقول I hope. However, if you want something to happen, if you hope something to happen, then you can say hopefully. ولكن إذا أنت بدك شيء مثلا يحصل لإلك، أوكي، أو مثلا ما بعرف، يعني بتتمنى إنه مثلا هيدي يكون نتيجة شيء، ممكن نستعمل hopefully بهالمعنى هيدا. If you ask me when will you hear back، إذا شخص سألني مثلا أنت رح تسمعي بخصوص الوظيفة، ممكن أني أقول hopefully within a week. hopefully within a week انه يعني انا بتمنى انه رح يقولوا لي بخلال اسبوع، مش بتمنى لك انت، بتمنى انه هيدي تكون النتيجه، فهيدي بنستعملها بهالطريقه هيدي. ما بعرف اذا واضح، يعني في فرق بين انه اتمنى شيء لشخص او اتمنى انه نتيجه شيء تكون شيء، فممكن ساعتها استعمل كلمه hopefully. اوكي بتمنى I hope but I didn't confuse you، انه ما لخبطتكم بخصوص هالشيء هيدا. اذا هالشيء هيدا لبكم تذكروا فقط انه hopefully بتعني in a hopeful way، يعني على امل. اوكي منا فعل بل صفه بتعدل فعل. Oh yeah, in terms of like telling people about time scales، بخصوص مثلا امتى ممكن نسمع بخصوص الوظيفة، ممكن نقول يوم الاثنين، ممكن نقول بعد أسبوع، ممكن نقول بخلال أسبوع. So some of the expressions you could use, so I'll just chuck the rest in. So some of the expressions you can use is you could say on Monday, okay, يوم الاثنين, I'll hear back on Monday. You could say by Monday إنه يعني بخلال يوم الاثنين، ممكن قبل ولكن يعني انكترت يوم الاثنين by Monday. Or you can say within okay بخلال within a week okay بخلال اسبوع، ممكن قبل within a month okay نفس الشيء. فهيدي فقط كمان يعني معلومة ممكن نستفيد منها. Okay, then what else? Oh yeah, okay. So then the person who's been to the interview could say, الشخص اللي راح إلى مقابلة العمل ممكن يقول I'm sick of going to interviews. I'm sick of going to interviews معناتها إنه زهقت من إنه قوم بمقابلات عمل. Okay, I'm sick of مش معناتها مريضة بل زهقت. Another way you can say that, you could say I'm fed up with. I'm fed up with. I'm sick with going to interviews. Okay, doesn't mean I'm ill, it means I've just had enough. I don't want to do it anymore. Or you could say I'm fed up with going to interviews. Okay, our rice, by the way, is ready. So I'm now going to switch off the heat. I've just switched off the heat and I'm going to give it one last stir. And now what I'm going to do, I've switched off the heat. Okay, see, no flame, okay. قفلت النار, طفيت النار. Now I'm going to stir in, to mix in my butter. So I'm going to do it like bit by bit. هلا راح أخلط الزبدة ولكن راح أعملها شوي شوي مش كلها. So I'm just going to put this on top here and I'm going to stir it really slowly. Okay, just to kind of like let the flavor go everywhere. Okay, and now the rest, الباقي, the rest by the way هيدي كلمة كتير مفيدة. Rest, الباقي, you can use it like if you give someone money and they want to give you, I don't know, like say a waiter in a restaurant and they want to give you back the rest, you can say keep the rest or keep the change. Keep the change maybe we use more, but you can say keep the rest. Okay. ممكن مثلا بمطعم لما ندفع وبعدين يرجعوا لنا الباقي ممكن نقول له keep the rest أو keep the change. Keep the change. Okay, so I've done that. Just to say as well, I didn't put in any salt into my rice because the broth can be quite salty. So I tasted right at the end to see if it still needs any salt. ما حطيت ملح لأنه المرقة بتكون أوقات كتير مالحة فحسب أوكي بدوقها وبعدين بقرر هل بدي ملح أو لا ولكن I'm going to add some black pepper. So just some black pepper and then I'm going to add my parmigiano, my parmesan وراح أضيف جبن البارميجانو. Okay, so that's that. And that's my parmigiano and I'm going now to add it bit by bit as well, like that. Okay, just stir it. Okay, so where did we get to? Okay, yeah, so the person said, oh, I'm fed up with going to interviews, I'm sick, you know, like I'm sick of going to job interviews. Then you could respond and say, do you have any other interviews lined up? Do you have anything lined up? To have something lined up means, okay, these tins here, they're lined up, okay? لما منصف شي منقول to line up something, okay? These tins are lined up. I'll line up my bowls. راح أحط مثلا الكاسات بصف, okay? First one, then one behind it. So that's to line up something. To have something lined up means to have something arranged, okay? To have something organized. So, do you have any other interviews lined up? Have you got any other interviews arranged? لما منقول هل عندك أي شيء lined up? Do you have anything lined up? منقول له هل مثلا عندك مقابلات تانية راح بتكون مثلا راح بتقوم فيها الأسبوع القادم شهر الجاي, okay? So that's the meaning of it. Then we could answer and say, yeah, I have one coming up, happening soon with Google. I have one coming up with Google. Coming up معناتها عن قريب راح يحصل هالشيء هيدا. I have one coming up with Google. And then someone would reply, if you say that, if you have a job interview coming up with Google, you would say, wow, That is very impressive. That is very impressive. هالشيء هيدا مبهر. Very impressive. كتير بنستعملها. Very impressive. Okay guys, I'm just going to show you something now. So this is my plate. I'm going to use this plate. The rice is ready. I'll show you what it looks like. I'm going to put it on a plate. Okay, like that. And then, hold on. I'll just wipe the border, so it just disappeared. Just wipe the border of the plate. And then what I'm going to do, just as a garnish, I'm going to get some parsley. And you don't cook the parsley, you just use it as garnish, like I said. I'd already washed these, so I'm just going to chop them really small. اوكي غسلت البقدونس فانا بس بدي استعمله فقط للشكل، يعني ما بدنا لا نطبخه ولا شيء. اوكي الشكل، وممكن بضيف يعني طبعا شوي نكهه كمان، بس ما بدي استعمل منه كثير وما بدي اياه يكون طبعا لا مطبوخ ولا شيء. Okay, so I've just فرمته. I just chopped it really small, and then I take a few kind of leaves like that, and I sprinkle, برشهم sprinkle. Can you write down sprinkle? Sprinkle them like that. And this, my dear friends, is mushroom risotto, and smelling really good. The parsley just gives off such a nice smell. So I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. So I just had some parsley on my hand and it went into my hair. Let's just see how many more expressions. We have a few more expressions left. So what I'm going to do is we'll use them in our next lesson. Okay, we'll finish them off. Finish something off. معناتها انه ننهي شيء بدأناه ولكن ما انتهينا منه. We'll finish them off in our next lesson. كان بعد في بعض العبارات اللي كنت بدي احكيكم عنها، لانه بصراحه كان في اكثر من 20 تقريبا، متهيألي وصلنا ل 30 رح نحكي عنهم بدرسنا القادم. مثل العاده اعزائي، اذا عجبكم هالدرس ما تنسوا الاشتراك بالقناه على يوتيوب، متابعه الصفحه على فيسبوك، اعملوا شير للفيديو، اعملوا كومنت وخبروا كل اصدقائكم عن هالدروس، وبشوفكم بالحلقه الجديده. باي.